Welcome everyone, this is your host Jack McKeag. This is the Mentor Program. I'm the mentor. Okay, we're going to have a great time doing this. Remember, after something comes up, make some notes as we go through this, pause, whatever, make some notes. And, if by the end of the video, in those notes you still have questions, please write us, because when you write us, we choose 5 people wrote in this, about this exact thing here. So then, something clicked for a lot of people, and I didn't get to that question. Write us at the email, mentor@jackmckeg.com, and then I'll use those really kind of, everyone had the same question, in the beginning of the next upcoming mentor video. So, we can kind of set that aside. You're like, oh, okay, I get that. And we're done with that, phase, and then I'll, the next part of the mentor video of that week or month or however I set it up, I like weekly, and they'll be all archived too. Once you make your donation, there's going to be archive. This will be the first archive video, first live video. So these will all be in there, and there'll be some links below and so on in the video when you're looking at it there. So if I bring up something, if let's say the topic is what questions about the EIN you get for the trust, and I'll be like, irs.gov. I'll try and put a link down below so you can be like, oh, let's see what he's talking about there. That goes right to the spot where you get your EIN and stuff like that. So, I'll try and support it with that, with some links below for going over something like that. You'll write in your emails every time you watch a video, hey, I had this question, whatever. If your question isn't like a popular one, like I said, we'll put in the video, I'm still going to write you back and answer your question. So if you have a question, great, thank you. Some questions I kind of, come at me random about this, that, or the other thing because you're in a situation, right? That's fine. I'll just save your question up for maybe a video when I get to it. So, like that topic. So, what's this mentorship about? Put out these packages you can get through jackmckeg.com, libertyaid.org. Over the years, they're all synced up right now. So, that's great. Those packages are extremely detailed, and then I would support them with, questions on emails and, phone consultation. I still have phone consultation, but, that's very individualized. I want to get this information to as many people so you can not only see the details of using each individual package, but how those packages fit together, and then just so much other financial hack information that just works with or in conjunction with those things or separately all on its own. That just are so many things that it's just hard to, put out a package for this or that. But some of the big items that are, super crucial, those packages need to be put out in detail. But the rest of it, I think I can support through this method of mentoring. So that's kind of what we're going to be going through here. That's the nuts and bolts of how it's going to work for us to stay in touch through this, process. It's like Truth University for your money, for your finances, and more. Okay, so let's go through an overview of what kind of our main things. We'll start from a big overview, and then I'm going to piece it together through these videos. So this first one is kind of just going to be an overview of what we want to get to. And then, what we're going to work to is your individual plan to make kind of what I'm going to talk about as your overview right now happen. Okay, because everybody's in a different spot, and they want to get over to what I'm going to talk about right now. So that kind of the plan of how to get there and what to do to make it happen, you need to kind of absorb some of this information, then move into that planning mode. So we'll start with the overview. We'll go through some of the details. That way you'll like, okay, now I have the knowledge what he's talking about. then you'll be in a spot to make a plan to make it happen. Okay? So that's kind of where I'm going to approach it from a video standpoint. That process of making it work for you, right? Give an overview, give the details of that knowledge, in a more exact way as we go through it, right? And then you'll have that information, and it's like, okay, your individualized plan to go forward, right? With that knowledge. I'm here to help with that too, okay? And I am going to go over a lot of those things. All right, so great that you're here. Welcome. Let's go through this overview I was just talking about. Okay, concept of the person. What's a person? It's a business that we're given at birth. Some people use the misnomer straw man. But what is this thing? It's the all capital letter name. It has another attribute, right? The 9 numbers of the social security number. It can have identification and so on. What is this thing? It's a business type. It's corporation. The corporation type is called a person. Personal checking. It's for your person. That's a business type. It's a business type we're given at birth, right? Each human gets a business called a person at birth, and that person can license other businesses like a trust, a C Corp, LLC, things like that. Okay, you need that person though to make the other things happen in commerce. You need a person. That's the one that licenses the thing. So don't get hung up on, they asked me for my social security number. It's not your social security number. It's the person's social security number, which is a business. It's not you, and it's not yours. It's tied to an individual, but it's not you. And it's always going to be tied to you. So what we want to do, a lot of people, what their game is to get this person wrapped up as, it's us. You know what I mean? Is that your ID? Well, no, it's an ID, of the person. It allows me to travel and drive and so on, but I'm not a piece of plastic. I'm like the CEO of Exxon is not Exxon, okay? He's just a CEO. He works there, I work for this business, but of course I'm not a business, okay? See, because individuals, if you just went down to a bank and go, I want a bank account, they're like, oh, you have some money? And like, yes. Okay, what's your name? You have to show, you can't just tell them everything. You have to have an ID. You have to have a business called a person that allows you to have a bank account. So what do we want to do with this person? What don't we want to do with this person? Okay, first of all right, we're given this free business. How do we use this thing? Because we're just given it without really instruction. We're just told, it's you. It's not you, it's a business, okay? Because you can't just go open a bank account like I was saying in a bank. Give me a bank account. They're like, where's your ID? It's like, no, I just want a bank account. They're like, get out of here. See, because they only have bank accounts and operating commerce for business types. So this person is so tied to an individual that we just don't want it tied up with us, because it has so much liability. Because really, a person is a sub-corporation of the In God We Trust. We, me, 33, Satan, is a satanic trust. You're signed to Satan through that trust, through this business called a person. It's their little hoax. And everybody's caught up in it. So that's why I say we need this trust instead of this In God We Trust. So we don't really want to be using this person, or we only want to be using it to its minimum, to our advantage only, never to their advantage, blocking all their advantage that they would normally want a person to take advantage of us. We're not going to engage in any of that. We're only going to use this person to our advantage where they can't mess with us, okay? So we got to set that person up with those attributes so, no harm can come to us through this person. But we can access money and wealth through it. That's what it's for. Nothing else. We don't want it tied up to us, all right? In any negative way. Okay, so what are the 3 main attributes? Sorry, mustache. What are the three main attributes to making this happen? This person, this business. Well, first, we're going to use a trust and other businesses instead. So we're not going to operate this thing in commerce. They're like, it's you, you're doing business. No, I don't even use the thing. So it's not me. You see? So we run a business, another business type, that they know it's not us. So they're like, oh, that's a business. He's running a business. You see? But they tie us into this person, and we don't want to be tied into this person. So we don't have a bank account for the person. Okay, we won't have a personal checking of any kind, no bank account of any kind to transact in, no PayPal account in the person, no nothing in the person. And so not just a bank account so you can transact and so on, but you also don't want to hold assets of any kind in the person's name. Okay, so that's no income, no assets, all right? And really no expenses either. You don't want any bills in the person's name either. So no expenses are going out in that name. But there is one thing we do want to be excellent with a person, and that's the personal credit. Okay? We want the personal credit to have a lot of credit cards, great credit, but not really be using any of it, but have a great super high credit score with a high credit limits and so on. But we're really not going to be accessing that credit. We're going to be having that credit sit over there so, the person looks stellar. We, us, I, thinking, because everyone thinks they're the person. So as you go through an airport, as you go through here or there with all the tracking and this, that, and the other thing, all they're going to know is you have great credit. Oh, well, right here, you go by, bypass the, what are those called, those agents call, bypass the TSA line with great credit. Go to the lounge, sure, great. And all the tracking devices on the highways and stuff you may not know about that reads all the credit cards and so on. You won't have debit cards in the person's name, so they can't directly steal your money, but you can have credit up there. Like, oh, this is just some rich someone going through. Great, and they don't owe anything. Thank you, sir. Please shop at our shopping mall. Please stop at our rest areas. It's a great camouflage to operate under. So it's important to have those attributes, and we want the person to have great identification, a passport, driver's license, that stuff. So for small fees, you can just get great camouflage. You look like everybody else, and just follow the rules of driving and get a license and get that camouflage. Is almost no money, and so just do that and leave that person alone, except for getting that great credit. And when you you have debt out there or whatever on it, our debt removal stuff tells you how to get rid of that. And we'll be going through the details of that, when it makes sense to do it, when it makes sense not to do it. Because they can get us all tangled up in too big of fights with them, and then we're not creating our wealth. Okay, so that's part of the planning, is having this knowledge and then making a detailed plan. Okay, I want to fight this debt, that thing, and the other. That may take a while, whatever, and that'll prevent me, because there are only so many hours in the day we have to, do our financial life. So we want to do the things that match our persona, what we like to do. If some people are angry at the banks like I was, you want to fight them, want to get rid of your debt, hey, great, I got the methods, they work. If you don't want to focus on that, I have other ways to get past that and get credit up for other businesses, so you don't necessarily have to fight about that. You could just, hey, my credit's messed up for 7 years, you just wait, it's all gone, reuse it, so what, Anyone can do that, and there's no fighting. And so within 7 years, you can make your person exactly as I said, with no work, no effort, no nothing. But it's a long time period. But that's okay if you're not like, I don't like to fight, I don't like to beat odds. Fine, whatever. It's not your thing. Obviously, it's not a big deal to me. I'm operating in truth. It's just bookkeeping, it's accounting, it's business, it's nothing. So there's nothing to be afraid of, is a lot of my work. It's just, but match, there are many ways to get to, great financial position. Fighting them takes time in an acute situation, like, hey, I have a foreclosure right now. Fight, yeah, fine, whatever. See how that goes, get you some time, move on to whatever you want to move on to, great. But for some other things you may not want to fight for. See, it's just, and we'll go through that when we get to it, okay? But A lot of other people that are just like, I'm not into that court thing or whatever, being at odds with people. Well, you're going to move over to the trust work and building credit over there. You don't have to fight. You don't have to pay them. You just, don't operate that person anymore. No bank accounts, no assets. There's nothing they could get from you ever. And so a job, as many people think of it, is a contract negotiation through your person to be, someone else's, follow orders of someone else to get paid, which is fine, but that incurs taxes for use of your person. You could serve others too, over there in another business type, such as the trust we have, and then you won't have taxes due from doing that. You could still, have enough funds to live your life and so on. Having a trust account, so you set your person up over there and with those attributes, done, great. What you want to do instead is kind of get a trust like we have, and that replaces your person basically. So your person doesn't have a bank account, it doesn't, take checks into it, doesn't have expenses, none of that. So how do you live your life, right? How do you pay all your bills? You operate a trust instead. That does everything instead. Okay, you just switch it all over to that, and you create it yourself with our documents, right? I mean, the documents are all created, but you just fill in your own information. The trust, you get as many trusts as you want to create, with the same information, and then they can actually, part of my work will absolutely go through the credit building process for that trust, which I prove I have done and can do. Also, since this trust type that we have is at the same, contract level and creation level as the In God We Trust, there's no up to pay to, taxes to, you see? So there are no income or inheritance taxes to. That doesn't relate to property taxes or use tax or any of that, or the tax of getting licenses and permits. It doesn't relate to that. It relates only to income tax and inheritance taxes because they relate to a person. They don't relate to a trust, okay? They're just different people. These are different business types, so they have different attributes. This is a trust attribute that you don't pay inheritance taxes if you use it right, and you don't pay income taxes if you operate it properly. You don't, which is they can't incur income. Only a person can. So they can't have income, period, for a trust. So you can't incur income taxes. See, that's the work, and we're going to go through it about the In God We Trust coming up. Okay, so that trust is going to replace a person, all right? And you want to have so that's two entities you want great credit with. That's what you want, just stellar credit with too. And you're going to use it, and you're going to build it over the years. You're just going to build. More than a person can, because it's a business type, not tied to an individual. You can tell, you can build it how you want to build it, and we will go through that. But that you don't ever want to mess up. It's credit, okay? And business credit it's different than personal credit. It's about paying bills. How you pay your bills, on time or no. So you got to pay your bills on time. So if you have a bill, pay it on time for credit, and then that reports as a great payment. So that, your trust begins to build credit over time. And great personal credit can hack the trust credit higher, faster. Super fast, super high. And then, even though you use your personal guarantees to jump it, later when it's up here, that trust credit, right? You can ask to have the personal guarantees removed, and they will remove them because your credit profile for your business of the trust is so good they no longer need the personal guarantee. So that's kind of a hack on why you want that person flying high to get your trust up. But the same thing can be said that the person with great credit can be used in the same way to hack an LLC, a C Corp, or nonprofit or something. It's credit to spike it high quick, and then you'll pull back your personal guarantees after you meet the demands of the cars that previously did want the personal guarantees, because what we're talking about is like business credit cards, okay? Like Capital One Spark card, Chase Ink card, and so on. You give a personal guarantee, but they're a business card. When your business meets the criteria for great credits all on its own, they would no longer need the personal guarantee, and we'll show you how to get to that. So the person can be super useful if it has great credit. So that's a reason to work on the debt removal, to work on all of those things, to get it flying high and always keep it there, because we can hack at getting money, because we're going to have, the person just sits there, doesn't do anything, but has great credit. Then we got this trust, we're going to operate it on the daily. That's what we're doing. But then we can have these other business types. Trust is hard to build credit for compared to other things, other business types and business entity types. I know what those are. So we'll be going through that, but so trust takes longer to build its credit, but once you have it, you're not going to mess it up. It's great. It's a continuous build that takes longer unless you hack it with those personal cards. But another, like a C Corp, a for-profit corporation of any type, like whatever, they have different types of them, but a for-profit, you create a Secretary of State, they can be a faster way to get credit and with no personal guarantee. And ultimately, that's the hack where you can get to a bunch of money, is that one. So first we set up our person and trust that way, then we have the skills and tools to build credit over on another for-profit entity. We can build it through the roof much quicker and say donate all that credit into a trust and it goes out of business, for example, which is legal to do and continue to do, and so on. So that's where we really want to hack credit to retake with no fighting, but we got a bunch, big pile of money. There's no fighting. You don't want to do that with your person. I did it with a person, my videos and my history, just to show you the debt was a scam and everything I was doing is legal and you can get out of it, but you don't even have to fight at the end. See, a person is just tied to an individual, so that you want to keep clean. But another entity type, it doesn't mess up your person in any way. It doesn't go backwards from that. It can just go out if there are no personal guarantees on any things, which there won't be. So that ultimately is the hack, the re-hack of getting piles of money. But it takes a little while to get there. You build skills as you go, and that's what the mentor program is about, okay? And then it's really about mastery and servitude, how you serve others with your business. It's not just about hacking the banks, it's about serving people. Instead of having a job where you work for someone, you serve everyone. Hey, I love to do, like for me, I'm into finances. That's my service to people. I keep it true, under the trust, real, can't be harmed, can't be touched. Neither can my finances, the trust finance, because they're not mine. They literally aren't. They aren't. So, whatever. I help people. So then we'll be going through, because really that helping people is a service, right? A service, maybe product or service or combo, is a business, right? Providing a service or product or a combination thereof. That's a business. So we're going to go through also, once we get over into this part where you're building for a business that you want an ongoing, the trust and that for-profit. The for-profit may look like what you're actually doing with the trust, like your service, but that for-profit can cyclically, build credit, boom and bust, and give piles of that credit into the trust, donating accidentally too much money into the trust, and therefore going out of business. Its credit profile is wrecked. But you have another for-profit corporation, same website, same email, etc., same clientele. So it's really just a thing going on in the background that doesn't affect your client base at all, and they never even know about it. So that's why this is kind of mentoring through a hack. You can have a great successful business already, wonderful. People come to me with that. These skills allow you to have no personal assets at risk, to incur no taxes as you're doing it, and have great sums of money, pile into that trust from time to time with these hacks. So, but you still have to have that quote business, that service, what you're doing for people, whatever it is. Like we all have a, we're not here just to, go play and have fun. We're here to help people. My help is this, telling you how you can, have the financial skills to do your service, what you're passionate about for people out there. Okay, that's why I'm work is helping you with that. All right. So even though I know these things, it's still, we're here to help people. Okay, that's what we're doing. So I think that's kind of the overview. And the first video here, I just want to keep it short and simple, kind of like what we're gonna be doing as an overview. Because that whole business planning and service to other, that's really like business skills. I have an MBA. I also have a master's in accounting. Those are two separate graduate degrees. An undergraduate in business and finance and 30 plus years in business. Long-time general contractor, real estate developer, etc., entrepreneur. But now I focus on this because I can find I can help people the most, and remove all the worry and risk that they had financially by giving them these pretty simple skills in a way, because we've been taught so many things for so many decades that just aren't to our advantage. These are simple skills, you just don't have them. They're legal, 100% legal. Nothing illegal about them. They're being used all day, every day, mainly by the elites that have a lot of money. I'm a great auditor and accountant, so all I did was watch what they were doing and just, legally just find out what's to people's advantage and then, copy it and use the parts that work best for people. The methods that I have are all free or almost free to use, okay? There may be small fees as you build, say building credit for a trust or a company. Those are based on payment experiences, so it's not free to do it. You don't just, like a person, you just, hey, can I have a credit card? And then you don't have to use it. You have to use credit and build credit over time by using accounts on the business side. So there are costs, but basically your life costs you want going through them, so you build business credit with your basic ongoing regular all life costs, because they're not going through the person anymore. Do you follow? So we're going to give all those skills and a lot more, and want to thank you for your support. Thank you for your ongoing support. If you're new here, fantastic. You're going to love this information. It will be multi-generational information. This is information people don't have, and I prove my work. I do it. All that proof's up there and has been. I've been out there for a decade doing this. None of this is anything to be concerned about. Do your best, right? There aren't any major pitfalls in any of the work I do. For example, you're applying for credit for something, okay? You didn't fill in a blank right, they wrote you back, you weren't denied credit, you call them and go, hey, well, why didn't I get that credit? They're like, well, in box something, 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 you didn't fill that out right. And you're like, oh, great, well, I'll fill that out right, thank you. That's not like there's no risk at that, And if your company went out of business, you can't pay credit, what company companies go out of business every day, right? 9 out of 10 businesses fail. Okay, so 9 out of 10, get busy, yo. But you don't want your personal assets at risk while any of that's happening. These are those skills. So really, it's to remove financial and other risk from your activities, okay? So welcome to the mentor program. Archive any links or stuff you get along the way in this, the video, so on, it'll be here in your members section, all that. But any links at the bottom of this video or other videos, you can click on them, pull them out, have them as we go through it, do your research on them, etc. So this is just an overview. If you got any quick questions, you know where to write. All right, mentor@jackmckegg.com. Thank you for your support, and I'm here to support you. All right, let's have a great time doing this. I'm really looking forward to this. Everyone new, everyone that's been at this for a while. It's going to be a great, fun, interesting time to work together on this. So let's have a great time. Don't worry, be happy.